I tested over 1,300 LinkedIn posts to find out what actually lands high-ticket clients, and it turns out there are 6 algorithm cheat codes that help me generate over £1 million from organic content alone. So I'm going to show you how to start conversations with anyone, triple your reach without making any extra content, and how to engage your hottest leads first with my priority pipeline. But before that, let me show you a trick to ethically steal your competitors' followers. You can conduct a search on LinkedIn that allows you to drill down into people who are in your ICP or ideal client profile who are following competitors of yours. The way that we do that is hit the search bar at the top of LinkedIn and then click people. After that, want to click all filters and narrow down into these 6 criteria. All right. You want to select second and third because that means you're not connected with them. You want to select the exact locations of where your clients are based, as many as you can. You want to select the appropriate profile language, which obviously for me is English, but I'll just put French because we're looking at French-speaking people in the United States. Then we can select either service categories or industry. You might want to play around with both, but you might want to be looking at software development or people who work in the operations space within software development. And then you just stick in your competitor's name. In this instance, I've gone with a major competitor of mine, David Hay, who is the former heavyweight boxing champion of the world. Major competitor. When you've done this, you'll be served a list of ideal clients who you know have an interest in what you do because they are following your competitor. All right? So all we want to do after that is connect with a number of them every single day and then feed them our content. Algorithm hack number 2 is newsletters. All right? Now, a lot of people will treat these as a standalone thing, not something I think that you need to do. So I want to talk about how I use them. First and foremost, all I'm doing is putting YouTube videos into articles and then publishing them as a newsletter. All right. Every single person that adds you or connects with you or tries to connect with you on LinkedIn, if you have a newsletter, they will automatically be served an invite to follow or subscribe to your newsletter, which it might seem like it's not that important, but actually what this allows us to do when we're publishing a newsletter is increase our reach massively. And when we increase our reach, we reach more people and therefore we get more views and more opportunities to sell to people or bring them into the ecosystem. All right. So you can do this in whichever way you want. All I'm doing is finding YouTube videos that I put out like 3-4 months ago and reposting them. Now what this does is brilliant because it gets extra views on the article itself and extra views of my name, but it also, and this is my favorite part about it, it sends out an email to everyone who hasn't opted out of LinkedIn newsletter notifications. So as we can see here, I have, I think, about 4K subs on this newsletter. It's actually kicked out 2,500 emails, and this is where it gets better, a 27% email open rate. Now, if you think about that, that's pretty crazy. That's 800 people have now been subject to either clicking this video or reading the text that surrounds it or going through the article or clicking through to my profile that I didn't have before. The other thing is, I actually haven't wasted any time creating extra content, okay? All I've done is repurpose something. So if you have blog posts, if you have video transcripts, if you have existing videos, if you have pages on your website, if you have processes, diagrams, you can make them into long form content and then send people directly to it. These pages of your newsletter or these articles can also be used as sales assets. So you can point people to them as well. Now, the final advantage of this is all of these articles are indexed by Google. So I sat down with my YouTube strategist the other day and we started looking at where the traffic was coming from to my YouTube channel. And over 30% of it was coming from Google. Now, I don't do any SEO, so I'm pretty certain that most of that traffic is coming directly from people searching for these particular problems. So I do a problem-based newsletter once a week where I don't create any extra content, 1x a week, and it goes out to, well, this number is climbing, but it will be sent out to over 2,500 people on average. Between 20 and 30% of them open it. You should do the same, especially as at the moment LinkedIn reach seems to be down, which funnily enough I talk about in cheat code number 3. Now, the point of this cheat code isn't the fact that LinkedIn reach is down. This is to signal something else. So if you are posting any long form video at all, what I suggest doing is not linking out to the YouTube video as an example, but actually posting it natively. And what that means is uploading the full video, providing it's sub 15 minutes, onto LinkedIn itself. Because what LinkedIn hate people doing is going off platform. Obviously, they want as many people to stay on platform, to then be exposed to content, i.e. ads, and then click. Because when people do that, the advertisers essentially that pay LinkedIn money will be happy, and they will therefore pay them more money. So we want to keep people inside LinkedIn or the LinkedIn ecosystem as much as we can. So therefore, if we're posting long form content, what we're actually doing is speeding up Google's 7-hour rule, where we build massive trust in a short space of time, because we're not attempting to go against the algorithm and take people off platform. So any long form content you have, make sure you're sharing it natively and actually uploading it rather than trying to take people onto a different platform. Before we get on to cheat code number 4, I want to make you aware of something. Underneath this video, there is a link to get a content planner that I have built. And this isn't just any content planner. It took me about 2 days to create, and it helps templatize every single one of your LinkedIn posts, all right? It's really, really powerful because you set it up once and then you can operate it in about 15 minutes a week, all right? And it allows you to then repurpose all of that content and repost it very, very easily as well. So if you want it, you can go and grab it from the link in the comments or in the description. The next cheat code is something you may have already done. Okay, LinkedIn Lives. But what you probably haven't considered is the leverage that LinkedIn Lives give you. It's by far, in my opinion, the best type of content to create because of the associated outputs that you can get just from one singular input. So I'm going to talk you through each of these now. If you go live with a guest, just like I am here with my wonderful assistant, Katie, it has a whole host of advantages against sort of creating content in any other way. The first thing is that you will have expanded reach. So every time you go live, and it's the same when you publish a newsletter, any of your followers that haven't opted out of those notifications will get a notification that will take them straight to the video. All right. So you have the opportunity, as I mentioned before, to speed up those like 7 hours that I mentioned and take people closer to the point of buying or booking a call or downloading or whatever it may be. Not only that, you can invite 1,000 people. Now, it's not to say that all 1,000 will turn up, but if you invite 1,000 people, there's a good chance 100 will show. All right. And of those 100, providing that they're in your ICP, they're going to be much more interested and warmed up, which kind of merges into point number 2. If people spend time with you, or the more time people spend with you, the faster that they are going to start to trust you. And if we think about that phrase, know, like, trust, you're inviting people that already know you. They'll probably show up if they like you or if they're curious, but if they spend half an hour listening to you talk with someone else, their level of trust is going to raise as well, which is exactly what we want. The third point is the guest leverage, which is absolutely crazy. So imagine that Katie was either an ideal client of mine or an industry figurehead. She is. If she also goes and invites 1,000 people, then that doubles the chance of success. But not only that, it exposes me to her audience. They get to see me live talking about stuff that I am an expert in, but I'm also interacting with someone that they know, like, and trust as well, which raises my credibility and kind of goes back to point number 2. They are then going to start checking out the profile, following, downloading things, potentially booking calls. Alternatively, the other leverage in inviting a guest is actually the fact that they could be an ideal client, and all I will be doing by spending time with them is strengthening that relationship and hopefully being able to sell to them. Point number 4 on here is email addresses. Now, if you go live through a company page, now you have to have 150 followers on your company page, you then have the ability to ask people if they want to sign up to your email list or if you can contact them by other means. So you can take their email addresses, you can download as a CSV, and providing they've said yes, you can upload to your chosen email software. Now, email is king, all right? You don't own your audience. LinkedIn own your audience. You don't own your audience on Instagram. Instagram own that audience. But when you get people onto your email list, you own them and you can hit them with comms whenever you like. Super, super powerful. Next is the fact that you can repurpose this content. Okay, so you, at the end of a half an hour live, will have a transcript and a 30-minute video. Think how powerful that is if you can chop that up, have a VA chop it up, or alternatively, you can chuck it into ChatGPT, and you can then produce posts, you can produce carousels, you could also have short-form video, you could also go, oh, I dropped a really good point there, and you could expand on it in a long form or a YouTube video as well. Possibilities are endless. And the fact that I talk about this being so high leverage is because all you're doing is speaking, all right? The prep that goes into creating a live is absolutely minimal, but the things that come off the back of it are absolutely massive, providing that you actually use them. The final thing is an easy podcast. So all you will have to do off the back of your live is download the video file and then upload it to Spotify for podcasters is what I use. Don't put any edits in, nothing like that. And straight away, well, within like 10 minutes, you will have a podcast episode. Again, you can give a VA access to this and they'll do it for you. So hopefully you can see with all these notes on screen, going live, massive, massive cheat code. Algorithm hack number 5 is where I'm going to show you behind the scenes of our priority pipeline. The priority pipeline sits around approaching the hottest prospects first and almost ignoring the coldest prospects unless we have the time. But when you listen to all these other experts on LinkedIn, all they're telling you to do is reach out to new connections and new followers. That is not the way it works. So I want to show you a better way of thinking. Rather than wasting time down here every morning trying to reach out to new followers and new connections who don't even fucking know who you are, so why would they buy anything? We want to spend all our time at the top moving towards the cold, rather than what everyone else preaches. I also used to call this the follow the money method because we want to go to people who are closest to giving us money. Now, for me, what this looks like is upcoming calls. So who am I speaking to on a sales call this week who I can try and strengthen trust with and increase the likelihood of them buying? It may mean previous calls or follow-ups. People that have downloaded your lead magnet, people that are clicking your emails, people that you've sent links to or had conversations with in the past. It may be that you want to approach past clients because they have, or existing clients because they have the highest likelihood again of giving you money. When we move then to the medium, we're looking at like the new followers. We're looking at profile views potentially. Anyone that sent you an inbound connection request. Remember, they're still pretty cold. They haven't been exposed to our content yet. And then finally, moving to cold, we'd look at things like people that have liked or commented or the outbound connections that we've sent that have been accepted. Most people are telling you to go after these when actually there's a whole host of people that should be well further ahead in the queue who are actually have a much higher chance of giving you money as well. So what I suggest is starting there. Not only will that give you better results, it'll actually get you better results faster. And lastly, we move on to the final cheat code, LinkedIn polls. All right. These still get massive reach. And you can do polls about anything. It could be something business related, could be something personal, could be something humorous. The point of it isn't actually the poll. Unless you want to conduct some market research, which is also very helpful, the point of it is actually to start conversations with as many people as possible. So if you do a really wide poll, the best one I ever did was how many spaces should there be after a full stop, 1 or 2? That went nuts. That got like 800 votes. And when you have a vote from someone, it allows you to start a conversation with them. As the person that's published this poll, not only do we have access to the results, but we also have a number of people that we are able to now DM. So as you can see, a very simple, very boring post here and a very boring poll as well got me the opportunity to speak to 116 people. Now, are these people all qualified leads on paper? No, probably not. But a good percentage of them are. And if I remember correctly, it was about 50 people. And that just then allows me to start conversations with them. Hey, can't believe you voted this. Or thanks so much for the vote on the poll. And then I just ask more questions. I'm not going to get into that now. I've got loads of other videos about DMing and stuff like that on my YouTube channel. But this now gives you an in. All right. We are now able to start convos with people, and we only start them if they're relevant or we think that we could have a chance of selling to them. So there you have it. The 6 LinkedIn algorithm cheat codes, ways that you can get more reach, more conversations, ultimately more leads and clients. Before I go, if you want to download the high performance LinkedIn content planner for free, the link is below. Alternatively, if you want to know how we use this strategy as part of our overall approach that we teach to our clients, you can watch this video here. I'll break it down in a lot more detail and actually take you through the roadmap of things that we do day to day, week to week to help our clients see massive results using organic content on LinkedIn. If you want to watch that, the link is here. If not, grab the planner. If not, I'll see you soon.